Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another movie review with your resident movie nerd Steve Fig over at JuneBugReview.com. It is with sorrow and pain that I review the movie College. This movie was directed by Deb Hagen. It was written by Dan Callahan and Adam Ellison. And honestly, they failed every moviegoer on an epic scale, and I'm not lying. Andrew Caldwell failed humanity as a terrible substitute for Jonah Hill. He was so abusive to his nerdy counterpart that he didn't really make it funny. His punchlines weren't there. It was just him abusing a skinny nerd. It almost made you think like the writers just hate nerds. Like it wasn't like a funny approach to like, haha, you're a geek and that's all I'm gonna do. Like, nah, he was just really beating on this kid pretty bad. Like it wasn't funny. Like I kind of felt bad. I was like, that's retarded. That's not funny. And then Drake Bell, I'm gonna be honest, Drake Bell's gonna grow into a fine lesbian at some point in his life. But in this movie, he should have just said no to the contract. I'm sorry, this movie did not help his career at all. Sure, it was a cute little college movie with high school kids, and a few people will find this funny. But honestly, if you wanted to see this movie, 2 years ago, you should have rented a movie called American Pie Presents The Naked Mile. It's the same damn movie. They completely ripped this movie apart. Shred for shred, page for page. They turned The Naked Mile into College with different actors, worse actors. And The Naked Mile was a pretty low budget movie, and I gave it props because I laughed my head off. I thought it was funny as hell. But honestly, it's the same thing, right? What they did was they basically took these high school kids who end up going to college for a weekend to check out the campus. What happens in American Pie Presents The Naked Mile? The same damn thing. Some kids go up there to visit a cousin who's supposedly legacy at this badass fraternity. The only difference is with college is that the legacy in college turns out to be a dork and nobody respects him, so the kids have a tougher time getting into parties. It's the same premise. It's a complete ripoff. Just because one character's legacy cousin in a fraternity is a douche and the other one is a Stifler who's a total badass and ladies man, that doesn't make it a completely different story. That's called You Guys Are Not Original. I'm sorry, that was not an original movie. It was a disgrace. It hurt for me to watch that movie because between that and the ripoffs from Superbad, I tried hurting myself. My sister had to wrestle the cord away from me. I was trying to hang myself halfway in this movie. It pissed me off too because there were actually some pretty funny parts. I gotta admit, I did laugh at a few things that weren't in The Naked Mile. But that was it. If you wanted to see this movie, you should have just said, hey, we're gonna make a part 3 to The Naked Mile or part 2, or don't make a whole different movie, pitch it with different actors, and we have a bigger budget and we're gonna actually put this one in the theaters and call it a whole different movie because you just ripped me off. I think that's a shame. And honestly, this Andrew Caldwell kid, I had respect for him until I saw this movie. And I don't like to dwell on people this much, but honestly, he stole his character is all based on Jonah Hill. And actually, really, Tyler Labine, I don't know if you guys watch Reaper on CW, but Tyler Labine's character, Sock, his name is Bert Sock Wysocki. That show's amazing. It's hilarious. It's one of the funniest shows on TV. And this kid is a direct ripoff. The same mannerisms, the same ridiculousness, except he tries to have the suave approach of Jonah Hill, like just real smooth with the tongue and cursing. That's not funny just because you can use the F-bomb 700 times. I use it all the time, but I deliver with punch. I make people laugh when I do that. You failed, my friend. You failed. Now, I know some actors are like, oh yeah, it's flattering to have somebody mimic me and mimic my style in their movies, but to me, that's a kick in the pants if they don't do a good job. Like, if you're gonna rip me off, you might as well do a good job, but if you fail miserably at it, then how does that make me look? Are you dissing me too? I didn't like that at all, man. I'll be honest. In the end, even my sister, I had to hold her down from walking out. It hurt. Like, I don't think that they really thought this movie out. I don't think that this movie was planned, or even if they had to rob the concept of The Naked Mile or Superbad to ride on that fame of you know, 3 different type of kids in high school that are shooting to get into college, and they all have these different personalities and will eventually split up. If you were going to do that and try to manifest each one of these characters into their own being and their own story within a story, you should have did a way better job than just completely ripping off The Naked Mile and Superbad. Because The Naked Mile was a low budget continuation of a successful movie, and Superbad is a damn genuine and original hilarious film that anyone who has a heartbeat has seen. So for you to rip it off and for you to claim that this is a whole different movie, I hope that people offend you. I hope that the producers of either one of those movies come after you guys. I hope that they say, damn it, man, you ripped off my script. You know, your characters are the same. There's so many similarities. You know, this is like Chuck and Larry bad. It just, I don't know, I was offended. In the end, I was offended. Just like I said before I even saw this movie, if you guys had listened to my other podcast saying that this movie really reminded me of The Naked Mile, now it's for sure. Now it's in stone. This movie is The Naked Mile, and you should be offended. If you do see this movie and you do enjoy it, I will battle you to the end on this. I really want to hear what you have to say. So go to Junebug Review, sign up with your accounts, upload a video, and if you want to diss me, cool. I don't even care, man, because I thought this movie, just because it was a ripoff, it sucked. It was funny, like it made me laugh because there was a few things I wasn't expecting because they just weren't in the other movie, but it really was a direct ripoff, and I don't like people biting. I have a hard time with that, and I hope you do too. You shouldn't promote that. Plagiarism is plagiarism, no matter where it starts, no matter where it ends, and nobody should support that. So anyways, that's my amazingly bad review on College, starring Andrew Caldwell, who sucks, and Drake Bell, who's a pretty girl with man parts. Be honest with yourself, bro. You wear more makeup than most of the girls I've ever dated. That's cool. I'm alright with that. I'm just saying, like, it was so much of a contrast. This movie just annoyed me. In the end, it hurt, because I love these type of movies. I love these low budget, like, silly college flicks where people get hurt and there's a lot of slapstick and boobs, and this movie failed at every point to me. So if you feel the same, I hope you do. Leave a comment on the YouTube page or just go to JunebugReview.com and let us know what you think. Thanks for listening. You guys have a good night.